Happy Monday to you, and thanks for being here tonight as we start off this week on a little bit of a different weather pattern. Not visible over my shoulder on the video, and barely was a few moments ago, but I think there are still a few flakes flying out there. So few, just hard to pick it up on the shot behind me. But yeah, snow flying about and a blustery cold day in the neighborhood. We've got more cold weather to talk about as well, and other weather things to discuss in brief, which will include a continued heightened fire risk. Forest fires in the Mine Fork area of McGoffin County last week. A hard freeze, of course, again tonight, and a lot of blooms and buds out there that's going to see a lot of damage because we had so much early season warm conditions, and there are so many, and that's kind of coming to an end tonight for most of it, I'm afraid. It'll be a bit of a reset, not unusual. But we'll talk more about your weather forecast in just a few moments. We'll talk some basketball tonight. We'll talk more basketball tomorrow. We're just going to kind of get caught up on some headlines that we need to get out there and discuss and report on this evening. And some basketball information tonight, and then a lot of basketball information tomorrow. Of course, as we see our Hornets off in the morning. And I'll have a better estimated time for you for that send-off in just a few moments as I'm pinning that down just to make sure that we have the latest, so I can let you know if you want to be a part of a convoy or anything else. It's either traveling with them or seeing them out of town or what have you. I'll have that in just a few moments. With that said, a few missing persons reports over the course of the weekend, both originating in Johnson County. One has come to a tragic end, that of a woman who was found submerged in her vehicle in Pikeville, and as well a missing juvenile, which per our last update, whose whereabouts were still unknown. Over the weekend, the Paintsville Police Department sent a request out for information, any information leading to the possible whereabouts of a juvenile identified as Allison Honeycutt, 5'7" tall, black hair, a nose piercing, a birthmark on her right arm. Last seen in the Paradise Court area Saturday night around 9 o'clock. The Paintsville Police Department considering this a missing persons case and asking that anyone with any information contact Johnson County authorities or Paintsville Police at 606-789-4221 or the State Police at 433-7711. Again, that's missing Allison Honeycutt, missing from the Paradise Court area in Paintsville, last seen around 9 o'clock on Saturday night. While a tragic ending has been realized in the case of a missing Van Leer woman, her family realized she was missing early yesterday after not reporting for work. An employee of the Pikeville Medical Center, 52-year-old Vanessa Muncie Crum, was soon realized missing after she did not show up to work yesterday morning. Her family initially sending out a plea for any information about her whereabouts, saying that she was driving her Nissan Rogue and would have left the Route 3 area near the Big Sandy Regional Airport on her way to Pikeville Medical Center and would have been doing so around 5 to 6 a.m. for work. The mother, an Air Force veteran, was not seen or heard from for the rest of the day. The family, with the assistance of police thereafter, were able to ping her cell phone. It did ping a cell phone tower around 6:48 a.m. in Pikeville, and through the Nissan Connect app that they had with her vehicle, they were able to log on, and it showed the vehicle's whereabouts last seen or registered around the Pikeville Walmart. And as it turns out, it was there that late last night a vehicle was found, resulting in the discovery of 52-year-old Crum. She was found submerged in her vehicle that for still an unknown reason it left the roadway, went over the embankment and into the Leviza Fork River there relatively near the intersection there at the Pikeville Walmart. Authorities using the cell phone ping and the vehicle's app to get the most recent or last location and then made the discovery from there. As to what potentially caused her vehicle to careen off the roadway and into the Leviza Fork, that is still yet to be determined and or reported by the Kentucky State Police. More headlines in just a second.
Atrial fibrillation is one of the more common rhythms we see.
AFib is an arrhythmia of the heart where the top part of the heart is beating erratically and out of sync with the bottom part of the heart.
The electrophysiology service is made up of a team of healthcare providers, and that includes an electrophysiology lab where we're able to do procedures to help repair heart rhythm problems. When a patient becomes heart rhythm free, it can really restore their life.
ARH, more for Appalachia.
Cooked cabbage is back at your Sagersville Lee's, and so is the low-carb plate. I mean, yes, you can call it a low-carb plate because it is. There's barely any carbs in it, but it's also one of the tastiest meals we've got. And the healthiest, low-carb or not. With juicy roast strips, our famous green beans, and yes, that tasty cooked cabbage. A taste and flavor all its own, and only at your Sagersville Lee's.
Hello, I'm Dr. Cheryl Stalder-Cheney, podiatrist currently located in Sayersville, Kentucky. I've been servicing patients within Eastern Kentucky for the past 20 years.
Our feet are the foundation for everything we do, and whether you're suffering from fractures or injuries, need custom orthotics, diabetic foot care, sports medicine, heel pain, wound care, or anything else foot related, relief is just one step away. Sayersville National Bank hopes to help you start the new year with financial freedom and peace of mind. From new services like Apple and Google Pay with your debit card to their more than century of being dedicated to being your personal or business banking institution, they're here for you with digital, phone, or in-person banking at both locations. In jailhouse notes this evening, a couple of arrests to pass along tonight. One in which another large quantity of fentanyl was seized coming down the Mountain Parkway and through Sagersville and Magoffin County. The other, a local man accused in a violence attack of a relative, another person, and a dog with a log chain and other means. We'll start with the latter. Around 8 o'clock last night, the Magoffin County Sheriff's Department responded to the residents in question pertaining to a domestic violence complaint between a male and a female relative. The male identified as Brian Perkins, the aggressor, who was accused of kicking the door into the relative's home, assaulting the female while he did not live or was allowed or invited to be in that residence. The female did refuse medical treatment on the scene after the domestic violence attack, but that was after actually running and trying to lock herself in a vehicle in the driveway, but was unable to do so before he actually got into the vehicle and continued the assault. There were other eyewitnesses who were there who alleged that they attempted to intervene and were themselves assaulted by Perkins with a logging chain on at least 2 occasions, and that he as well struck a dog with the same logging chain, which he had tossed in the back of another vehicle and couldn't be found by authorities. They did find him at the residence sitting on a couch and took him into custody and charged him with assault in the 2nd degree, burglary in the 1st degree, assault in the 1st degree, and criminal trespassing in the 3rd. And this man remains in the Big Sandy jail where he has been for a number of days after being stopped on the Mountain Parkway by Kentucky State Police. The Post 9 Criminal Interdiction Team and DESI unit were conducting a traffic safety checkpoint near mile marker 72 when a red Mitsubishi Outlander pulled up with no visible license plate on the back. There was a temporary tag with no visible markings on it, as would have been required. Nevertheless, they pulled it over, asked the driver to get out. He exited the vehicle, and in doing so, they found where he was attempting to hide something around his waistline, which turned out to be a bag of a fine brown powder substance, which was consistent with fentanyl. They also found a set of digital scales and about $700 in cash, with Chad Wallen, 41 of East Point in Floyd County, admitting to traveling to Lexington to buy the fentanyl, estimated to weigh almost 70 or right at 75 grams, more than a personal use amount. Wallen was charged with aggravated trafficking in a controlled substance, carfentanil or fentanyl derivatives, and possession of drug paraphernalia while the investigation continues. The Hornets are heading out early in the morning. Their last stop tomorrow will be Rupp Arena. I'll tell you about the timing of all of that in just a few seconds, and how, if you're not one of nearly everyone going down to watch the game in person, how you can, for a small fee, I'll have the link for you in just a second, stream the game and watch it, and or the whole state tournament, if you will, in its entirety. So I'll have that in just a few seconds. Right now, tonight's McGoffin Farm Bureau calendar before we come back to some high school basketball, some Hornet basketball headlines. First up, a reminder, the Water into Wine Food Pantry has their regular commodity date, the last one for this month, this Wednesday, 9 to 11. Their senior commodity day this Thursday, also 9 to 11. And for both lists, they stress that you need to pick up your box of goods by 10 because they'll start going to the waiting list thereafter. Free soil testing this entire month of March for your garden and your pasture and your lawn, or any or all in any combination, at the McGoffin County Extension Office. Call 349-3216 for more information. A great service. Really get you a head start or figure out what you've got going wrong. And like I said, I've used it before, and it helped me out tremendously. And it's free all this month. Calendar's always free. Just send those announcements to me any way you can, and we will get them out to everyone. Birthdays and anniversaries, too. From there, we'll go on to funeral service announcements brought to you nightly by the McGoffin County Funeral Home, beginning with tomorrow's services at 1 for 57-year-old Richard Ratliff of Sagersville. He passed away Friday at the Pikeville Medical Center. Richard is survived by his wife, Melissa Fitzpatrick Ratliff, his special daughter, Jacqueline Brianne Fields, sons Dustin Bauer, Stephen Ratliff, and Mickey Ratliff, a stepdaughter, Miranda Masters, sisters Lou Clark, Charlotte Garrett, Brenda Clark, and Vera Robertson, and 13 grandkids. Services again start tomorrow at 1 from the McGoffin County Funeral Home Chapel. Visitation is tonight until 9. Services are incomplete at this hour for 71-year-old Gary Michael Perkins of Sagersville. He passed away Sunday, and those two be announced soon through the McGoffin County Funeral Home. And lastly, this asked to be read in memoriam of Ova Randall Wheeler, love Mom, Dad, Wendy, Michael, family, and friends on what would have been Ova's birthday. Gone but not forgotten. Regardless of what season it is, you can always find fan favorites of the Ville, Salyersville, at the seasonal shop. For the dudes, Duke and Cannon, Turn Rose, and more. And always something for all the Hornet fans. And for all the ladies, it's always Wildcat season, and it all changes daily. That's why you always have to make a stop at the seasonal shop just next door to Fraser's Prater Drug Store. The best place for all your prescription, over-the-counter, and Radio Shack needs, with some of the very best hometown lunch specials and treats. They're a pair like you can find nowhere else but in Salyersville. Someone dies in the U.S. every 7 minutes from an overdose, and over half of the population gets or takes pills from a friend or a relative. And about 46 million and counting are exposed to narcotics in their drinking water. So don't toss them, flush them, or leave them lying around. Safely dispose of your unneeded meds anytime at Parkway Pharmacy,
where you can always talk to a pharmacist when you need one.
I believe in Kentucky.
I believe in Kentucky.
I believe in small-town values.
And Mom and Dad and the things they handed down.
I believe some of the best people in the world are farmers.
I believe in insurance that protects families, homes, and cars.
I believe in always finding a way to do what you love.
I am Kentucky.
I am Kentucky.
I am Kentucky.
You've seen the forecast, right? You know what season it is, so it is time to get ready. With New Year deals that are worth up to $200 off a new set of tires, and get your car running like new with only a $35 state-of-the-art computer diagnosis, and save all the payments for later with 6 months same as cash at Conley Tire and ConleyTire.net. On the program tomorrow night, more on the Hornets leaving town after they have done so. For now, this is when they plan on doing so. Just confirmed with Coach Castle just literally a few moments ago, right before the start of the program, that their schedule is still set for tomorrow, as was planned. They will be treated to a breakfast to get them fueled up and ready to go in the morning. And then from there, I think they're going to the Farmhouse Diner, by the way. From there, a pep rally at the school around 9:15, I believe, is when that's supposed to start. And the boys are set to pull out tomorrow morning from the high school at 10 a.m. Now, of course, there'll be a few folks sending them off, and very well imagine that we'll be there, and we'll be talking with them before they go, and seeing a lot of folks there who will either just be seeing them off or fortunate enough to maybe make the trip down and stay tomorrow night and be there bright and early Wednesday morning. Nevertheless, the boys are not going straight to Lexington. Took a little while to find a practice gym. You know, college ball courts are different dimensions, and they wanted to get to practice on one, so they'll be going to Morehead State. MSU is going to let them graciously practice in their gym, and so the boys are leaving Sagersville at 10 in the morning, headed to MSU. They will make it back, of course, to Lex tomorrow night, check in, get settled, and be primed and ready for Wednesday morning's game at 11 o'clock. Of course, against Perry County Central, and we'll be talking much more about that on tomorrow's program and for the next several days. Now, if you're not making the trip, still want to see the game, you can from the best seat in the house. There is a fee associated with it right there, top of your screen. That's the website you go to, nfhsnetwork.com. And we're sharing that. We already have. I think Heather's already shared that on the Sagersville Independent Facebook page for you. nfhsnetwork.com. As soon as you click on, I guess it kind of knows where we are in this world and gives you a few choices in McGoffin County and Perry Central are one of the matchups there. Simply click to subscribe to watch. Yes, you do have to pay. If it is something that we've used before throughout history to watch a number of games, there's an annual pass of $80, but they graciously offer the monthly pass, which is billed monthly, and you can cancel anytime. You just got to remember to cancel. That's the big point. But for $11.99, you can watch that game and, of course, the rest of the Sweet 16 tournament as well, just simply by purchasing the month. And doing so just requires creating an account and a credit card number and the like, and you know how that works. Watch parties, good idea, I think. Get a bunch of folks together, get a big TV, and there you go. $12 split a few ways. Now let's take a look at some weather out there. Dramatic difference, and I'll leave it at that. We topped out at 43 degrees today, 43 and a half to be precise. 34 and falling. Feels like 26 out there right now with about a 3.5 mile wind out of the east a few moments ago. Clocked an 18 mile per hour gust earlier today. Humidity is at 62%. Sunrise 7:39 and sunset 7:44. And we're talking about, of course, a hard freeze tonight. And that's going to be a big lick to a lot of buds and blooms that were out there. And it's going to be a bit of a reset, I'm thinking. 27 degrees is probably where we're going to fall to around about tonight. And those flurries that we've been seeing on and off throughout the last hour or two are pretty much wrapping up, I think. Mostly cloudy skies that will see some gradual clearing during the overnight. 27 degrees, but remember, winds out of the west, more so out of the west, anywhere from 9 to 18 miles per hour later on. Well, that will make it feel much colder than 27. Good night. Stay in. Remember that we're not out of the winter or woods yet. Tomorrow for your Tuesday, sunny and 51, still breezy. Winds out of the west, southwest, anywhere from 5 to 25. Pick your poison there, but still better. Breezy and sunny at 51. Tomorrow night's low is certainly an improvement as well, as we see closer to 40 degrees tomorrow night under mostly clear skies. Winds are still going to be howling out of the southwest at 25 miles per hour on and off. So it's going to feel colder than that. Wednesday, close to 60, 59, sunny degrees midweek. Going to be a pretty nice day to be in Lexington and hopefully see the Hornets onto a win with clear skies that night and a low of 28. I'll be back, of course. I'll be going Wednesday morning for the game, but I'll be back with highlights and the outcome, of course, on Wednesday night's show. Thursday of next week, 50 and 36, your high, your low, still sunny, clear, calm, and nice. We do have another system that rolls in here for the latter part of the week and into your weekend. It's kind of a short window. Friday, 56 and 41, and we will consider about a 40% chance of some rain. That's kind of on and off throughout your day on Friday, just some spotty chances of some showers. 56 degrees, more clouds than sun. Saturday, the clouds part for the most part. We'll see partly sunny and a 20% chance of some rain. 33 that night with some lingering precipitation, maybe a flake or two, I don't know. Nevertheless, the latter part of the weekend, 61 and sunny. Monday of next week, back to where we want to be, 69. Mostly sunny, slight chance of showers that might grow as we go into your Tuesday or so. Not quite certain as of yet, but certainly it is Kentucky. It is Eastern Kentucky weather, and none of this is anything that we should be surprised or not used to. I don't think at all. And before I let you go, the Sayersville City Council is meeting in regular session tonight. The McGoffin County Fiscal Court is meeting in regular session tomorrow. We'll have cameras at both of those meetings and reports to follow just as soon as possible, leaving myself a little wiggle room because of course, a big day tomorrow as we get ready to see our Hornets off, and then a lot of folks traveling to Lexington to see the big game Wednesday morning. So with that said, bottom line is a lot to see when I see you back here next time. Thanks for watching.